Okay then, I guess we are doing things. Yes, things and stuff. And all sorts of things. I'm just sitting here drinking my sparkly water. And suddenly I hear game audio and we're on this overlay. This is how it be. Sometimes life just gives you early race overlay and you just gotta roll with it. Okay. Apparently the countdown's begun. I don't think Scotty got the memo. This is troubling. Ooh. Okay. So, this is a thing that's happening. I guess we're going to call this the handicap. There's some sort of gentleman's agreement where Scotty just forgets to start the race and then everyone just has a good time. Either that or hang on, let me just reload my RTMP here because maybe I'm just the only one living in the past. Great, now I can't see it. Oh, I'm so confused right now. Scotty, he says the good luck, but then he's not actually okay. I'm very... Okay, this is fine. Okay, we're in business. We're going, and both of them have timers running, and next thing you know, they're both actually going to be going through this game quickly. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this ignoble start to the grand finals of the Metroid Fusion 100% tournament. That's right, I said grand finals. This is the one for all the biscuits. Or, if you're not a big fan of biscuits, for all the bread product that is your bread product of choice. Unless you... And that mean... if you have a gluten allergy, there's gluten-free bread. Don't worry. We got you covered. We are making sure everyone has something on the... Something that the stakes are high enough. Yes. Why is my name not on the overlay? Okay, we're going to fix that while I talk about Metroid Fusion. Alright, so yes, this is Metroid Fusion 100%. They're going to be going for every single item in the game, which means all sorts of fun times, all sorts of fun rooms you might not get to see normally in any percent run. But that does also mean there's going to be a whole lot of things you might be familiar with, so for those of you who have already seen it, let's not ruin it for those who might not have. But the gist of the story is we are on the Biologic Space Laboratory Station, the BSL for short, because acronyms, that's not an acronym, abbreviations are cool. And that yellow gelatin right there you saw in that little window is the antagonist of the game. No, I'm not making that up. We are in fact going up against gelatin. Unfortunately, this is sentient evil space gelatin called the X-Parasite, which in fact did almost kill Samus, but it cannot kill Samus because she is the protagonist and mightier than that. Also, she's part Metroid now. Ta-da! Look, I haven't had a chance to brew coffee yet today. My brain is not firing on even an entire cylinder right now. Y'all gonna have to cut me a little bit of slack here. But first things first, before we can do any sort of fun breaking through walls and doing all sorts of the wacky stuff that you've come to expect, know, and love from a 2D Metroid game, we've got to get some power-ups. Samus is still a little bit on the weak sauce here, so first things first, gonna go over to the Ethernet port and download some missiles. That's right, in this game, Chozo statues are a thing of the past. They are so passé. Now everything is downloaded off the internet. It is exactly like downloading RAM, but now they have missiles! Missiles are going to be a game-long friend. They are very useful and, in fact, necessary for several things, including boss doors and the upcoming boss. Thankfully, the game is gracious enough to give us multiple missile tanks on the way to the first boss, which will enable us to kill it very quickly. But something else that's a little bit important to note about Fusion is, for anyone who's played it, they're familiar with this, it's a very linear game. it's less dropping you on the station, you just do whatever, and more so you're just kind of traveling from navigation room to navigation room, which for better or worse thing. For better means you get some cool story. For worse, it means well, there really isn't going to be any free roaming until very, very late in the game. Right now, they're both facing off against the I was about to say the great equalizer, randomness. Eye doors will give you beams, and then they'll reveal their weak spot. How many beams you get? As many as 4 between weak spot reveals, but there's randomness. There's nothing you can really do about it. So in this case, the eye door decided it wanted this to be an exciting race. So it gave Scotty many beams, and it gave Reseren few beams. And now they're matched up against, and here he is, Arachnus. Is Arachnus going to give either of them a hard time? No! Neither of them gets any rolls. 0 rolls for both our runners. They get that first double. And just like that, now they can morph. Now, the more astute among you may have noticed, hey, that Core X was supposed to take 3 missiles to kill, but we only saw it take 2 cycles. Well, that's because the hitbox on those Core X's is actually square, so you're going to be seeing Scotty and Reseren both do is try to get those to fly into their missiles from the side to get 2 hits at once. We call those double missiles. And especially later on when we're dealing with cores that take 6 missiles to kill, getting doubles can cut the number of cycles in half, so it's incredibly important. Especially in the Grand Finals. Did I mention it was the Grand Finals of the Fusion 100% tournament? Because it is. It completely is. And that music is appropriate for the level of tension we should be having, because both of these are top-notch runners. Reseren, an exceptionally good runner. Scotty, someone who kind of needs introduction. He's the undisputed world record holder of this game in like every category. And speaking of not needing any introduction, Reseren. Reseren knows what I like, making sure to open the door for our guest here, because that's just what a polite host does. Unfortunately, these are the eyes of somebody who does not stand on social decorum and says, "Screw all doors." For a moment there, I thought I lost the bot, but I was wrong, because it came back. But anyways, now that they are done with the main deck, Rez and Scotty are going to be heading on down into Sector 1. This station has 6 sectors, each of them being a distinct environmental biome. This first one is representative of the SR388 ecosystem. For those of you unfamiliar, that is the planet. That is the planet around which the station orbits, which is also the homeworld of the titular Metroids. Ooh. So, anyways, the gimmick here is the X-Parasites like to turn up the thermostat a little bit too much, so it's getting a little bit balmy in here, a little bit hot, a little bit humid, uncomfy. So we need to go to all the atmospheric stabilizers and fix them by filling them with missiles. You know, just like a real HVAC technician. And the thing here is you need missiles for these. Beams will not work. So it is very important that both of them will try to stay at full health throughout this visit, because when you're at full health, you can guarantee the green X drops, and the green X drops give you missiles. And missile count is a little bit tight. Not super tight, but just enough that if things start going a little bit south, you might run out of missiles before the door. And in a race this close, having to go farm missiles before the eye door is going to be a borderline catastrophic time loss. So far, Scotty is pulling ahead here in Sector 1. Dropping down through this room here with the pirates, getting hit a little bit. Looks like Rez making it through clean. Oh! Scotty doing a strat that I'd never seen there before, actually trying to just damage boost into the stabilizer from the left instead of climbing the wall on the right. I could see how that could potentially be faster, and then unfortunately he had a little bit of trouble lining it up. Thankfully, his missile count's looking good now at this point, so even with being over 1 E-tank down, he should still be fine. Unless he starts tinking a bunch of missiles, which I don't expect will be the case. The stabilizer here, Reseren getting the good positioning, Scotty getting it as well. Unfortunately, Scotty having to wait a moment for that door to open. Just another little bit of randomness you gotta deal with in this game. The climb here with the pirates. This is one of the spots where not having missiles can ruin you. These pirates cannot be killed by beams. But now, all of that is behind us. They have made it to the eye door. Scotty first to make it. This time he's going to try to get doubles on the eye door as well. They are challenging to get here. You have to do a very particular positioning. Let's see if he can get it. First one, he gets a double. And, ooh, 2 beams so far. 3 beams so far. And he's in. And Reseren getting... Reseren just getting no beams. Reseren just getting no beams. And he's caught up just like that. All right, gonna go for some double strats here. Scotty going for the newer strat, but he doesn't quite get the setup. You can get double doubles on this core using the setup that Scotty was trying to do, but he's unfortunately, look like he missed all of his doubles, allowing Reseren to actually slightly pull in the lead here. Yeah, the beam cores are a little bit more challenging to deal with since you can only hit them when their eyeball opens. Thankfully, later beam cores are a little bit less obnoxious to get doubles on. But now both of them are armed with the charge beam. I'm gonna do a little bit of shenanigans right here with damage boosting into the hitbox. Ooh, Rez not quite getting it. Scotty getting it cleanly. But that also showcases one of the best things about the charge beam. The charge beam is actually the most powerful it has ever been in a 2D Metroid in this game. Now it's not just a beam. The beam has 2 parts, and you get a little flare you can see flash around Samus's arm when she fires a fully charged shot. That also does damage. So you saw right there, they jumped into that stabilizer before releasing. That was important. They would not have been able to kill it in one shot without that. Ooh, Scotty doing it again, pulling off the Kadoom strap for that room, as we call it, named after disappeared runner Kadoom, who did some really, really swagtastic strats in this game, but they live on. They live on even today. But you're going to see us take full advantage of that fun thing about the charge beam, though. There are a couple of bosses, one that's going to be coming up in a couple of sectors, in fact, who we get right up in their faces to maximize that damage. The 2 beams and the flare make for some very, very interesting quick kills. But with that, both of them are done with Sector 1. Entered about the same time. Scotty going to be leaving a few seconds ahead, though. Had a very, very clean sector. Although Rez getting 0 beams on the eye door definitely gained him some time back. But now they decide, you know what, we kind of enjoyed that balmy, warm temperature, so they're going to be on their way to Sector 2, TRO as it is called, which I'm imagining stands for... I'm not sure what it stands for. The mystery lives on. But it is a hot jungle sector. You can draw your own conclusions if you would like from that. And the gimmick here is, in fact... I forgot what the gimmick was. Oh, that's right. There is no gimmick. We just have to go and beat up a boss. That's just how it be. Not all sectors have gimmicks. Well, this one does, in fact, introduce locked doors. Oh, yeah. We also finally learned who that mysterious house guest was. It is, in fact, the SAX, which... smarter minds than my own have told me is supposed to stand for Samus Aran X, but I say that's the small brain play. The big brain play is obviously it stands for saxophone. This is what happens in the future when scientists do not stop to ask if they should, and then they decide to turn a saxophone into a sentient killing machine. So that's right, we are in fact being chased by a woodwind instrument that has an arm cannon. Sometimes, you know, sometimes that's just the dangers of the future. But before they can worry about that, Scotty and Reseren are going to have to unlock the doors. This area has blue doors that they have to unlock by finding the hidden, not on the map, security room. Fortunately, they both know where it is because we're speedrunners. We just know these things. And just like that, Scotty's got the doors unlocked and Rez has got the doors unlocked. Ooh! Rez unfortunately showing off why Sector 2 is so dangerous even in 100%. Those red slug fellas, the Zoros as they're called, they do a whopping a whopping 45 damage if you touch them. So you really don't want to be touching them, even to 100%, where you end up with too much health and weapons by the end. This early on, Samus is still very, very vulnerable. So they have to make sure to kill them as they go and not stop. The most important thing about Sector 2 here is making sure you keep moving and don't waste time stopping to kill enemies when you don't have to stop. I hear someone in chat saying there's no such thing as too many weapons, but I would like you to tell me a situation in which 74 power bombs is it considered anything else other than excessive. Like, I speedrun multiple Metroid games. I don't think I've dropped 74 power bombs across all the games combined in all my years of playing. That's just a lot of power bombs. Oh, Scotty trying to go for the bomb jump there to get... Oh, he gets it! And he gets it. And he gets it! That's a challenging little trick. The bomb jump, we call it. JBJs and just infinite bomb jumps in general are not something that get a lot of use in this game, in fact. Because bombs are kind of bad. Their blast radius is comically small, and the fuse is way too long. Which just honestly just ends up meaning that, well, we just use them to break blocks, and that's kind of it. So any chance we get to actually use them to launch ourselves, which is there and one other spot later on in Sector 6, well, we take those. We take those and we run with them, quite literally. Alright, Scotty, making it down here. Can he... Ooh, he beats the block! Fun little trick there where you can bomb the block, get the item, and get through just before it forms, but you gotta be quick. Oh, Rez looks like he was trying to start going for it, but ooh, you might still get it. And he does still get it, even opting to missile the door, because sometimes you want it to be open and waiting for you. Both of them making their way through Sector 2, though. No more, well, one more item to grab, and then they're on to the next boss. Thankfully, now with the charge beam and its mighty flare, they don't have to worry about eye beams nearly as much. The most they will be seeing is 4, hopefully closer to 0. Scotty getting right up in the door's face, because doors have faces, no really. One beam from Scotty into Zazabi. Zazabi has a unique shape, which I'm sure all of you can probably draw some sort of conclusion. And Zazabi's gimmick is he likes to jump. He likes to jump. And he's going to give you as many jumps as he wants to give you, and you just have to kind of take it. Just gotta kind of deal with it. Scotty already getting... Oh, Scotty having... Oh my god, Scotty, no. Scotty getting pretty gross number of jumps so far. Meanwhile, Rez gets 0 beams again, and... Oh boy. Zazabi is not a friendly boss, but thankfully Scotty managing to put it to rest. Reseren got fewer jumps out of that one, so he's gaining deck time on randomness again, but Scotty pulling off not just the double-double on this 4-missile core, but also pulling off the sweet spot. That's something else I didn't really have a chance to talk about before, but you saw there on Rez's screen he had to wait a moment to grab the core after it was killed. If you kill the core on the exact spot, or roughly around the spot where you would pick it up, you can pick it up immediately. You do not have to wait for it to fly around the room ungrabbable. That's what we call the sweet spot. So ideally, you get all the doubles you want, and you get that sweet spot, and you can grab the core nice and quick. Scotty going for the sack skip. It's looking good. And he's done it. Scotty's skipping the sacks. He says, no, I don't like jazz. And that hurts me a little bit. I actually do like jazz. Ooh, Reseren also getting it. Thankfully, sack skipping 100% is not nearly as dangerous as it looks. It's certainly one where you can't just go into it not knowing what you're doing. But once you know the setup, it's actually very consistent. Not like the any percent sack skip, which is... Oh boy. Any percent sack skip is a trip. By trip, I mean it will kill you. But neither of them any trouble dealing with the sacks, and they're done with Sector 2. Scotty maintaining the lead. But Reseren still staying right behind him. And if you thought the tensions hadn't been rising enough, well, good news. We're on our way to Sector 4. So, yeah, tensions are about to rise even more. Sector 4 is a fun sector. It's full of water. Water's good, right? Especially when someone drops a hairdryer into the water. Because now the water's all electrified. And, well, turns out being part Metroid does not make Samus immune to electricity. Go figure. Because I don't know about all you, but whenever I see a Metroid, I always see little electricity arcing around inside its big green, like, beanbag head thing. But in Sector 4, there's going to be a couple things going on. The electrified water means that they have to go through the rooms in very specific ways, and there are a lot of platforms and interesting movement you're going to be seeing here. Whole lot of wall jumping, whole lot of vertical stuff. This is definitely the point at which you can lose a lot of time if your movement is not on point, and that's not even considering the boss they're going to have to deal with. Hope y'all were taking notes earlier when we talked about the flare, because sure enough, this boss is the poster child for why the flare is great. I will expect a 5-page essay after the boss fight from every single one of you on my desk by Tuesday of next week. I'm not unreasonable. Oh, and Scotty almost having a close encounter with a fish there, showing off one of the other mean things the X can do. In some spots, the X parasites can in fact merge with other existing enemies to become stronger or different forms. And that big fish right there, ooh, right in Reseren's way, that's one of the worst positions you can get for that. Those big, strong enemies do a lot of damage. That fish in particular does over 100 damage if you touch it. It's one of the worst enemies to deal with in low percent runs. It just kills your run outright. So you have to always be mindful of that stuff. And these crabs with their arc shots that defy any sort of gravity, well, this sector is definitely a treacherous and challenging one to move around in. But so far, so good. Scotty and Rez moving through nice and smoothly, taking care of the crabs and the enemies as they go. Health looking good. Scotty opting to grab that missile early. Sometimes folks will opt to grab it later. Looks like Reseren also opts to grab it early. And now it's time for a big vertical room here from Scotty. This one's one that can be a little bit tricky to do depending on the positioning of enemies, but ooh, both of them right on top of each other. Taking the hit, but making it through. No trouble for Scotty. And now Reseren challenging that room as well. But meanwhile, what's going on here? Oh my gosh, this is a skeleton. This skeleton looks like a boss skeleton. Well, then where's the boss? Well, it turns out, here's another fun lore fact for you. The X-Parasite enemies you fight are not actually the enemy they look like. They're just the X copying that. Let's see how many beams Scotty gets this time. 2 beams. 3 beams! Ooh, 3-beam door. All right, now let's talk about Ceres. Ceres is this little speedy speed boy here with a jam and boss theme. This is normally a 5-cycle fight. Scotty is going to turn it into a 2-cycle fight using the flare. Reseren getting 1 beam. He just is maintaining his luck lead here. Scotty, oh no! Scotty didn't hit it with the flare. He was not close enough. This is going to turn into a 3-cycle fight, and Reseren missed the first hit completely. Oh, this is bad news. Thankfully, he can anticipate where Ceres is going to be, and it looked like he missed the flare. That was a little bit far back. That might not be a 2-cycle. Thankfully, Scotty getting doubles and the sweet spot to make up some time here, but Reseren could be in trouble. No! He did hit it. I thought he was too far back, but I was wrong. He missed the first hit, but he still managed to get the 2-cycle. Unfortunately, not as quick as he would have liked, but he does get himself a sweet spot. Both of them absolutely nailing that core fight. Boy, that was a bit of a roller coaster right there. I was expecting Rez to gain some time back, but that's the thing about Ceres. Ceres is, once you get the hang of it, is actually not a super difficult fight, but you still have to be on point. If you're just a little bit out of position, or you jump the gun and fire too early or a little bit too late, you don't get the full hit. And then a 2-cycle becomes a 3-cycle. And even that costs so much time because Ceres just goes around the room for many, many seconds throwing a big old tantrum. And nobody wants to see that because that is slow. And you know how we feel about slow here at Speed Gaming. It's no good. But with that, Scotty and Rez both done with that part of Sector 4, picking up the bounty of the Wiggly Worm. I'm, of course, talking about the Speed Booster. That's right, it's got speed right in the name, which means we are required to love it by law. And in fact, even if we weren't, we would, because the Speed Booster is great. It lets us run a lot faster, and it gives us access to one of the most useful movement tools in the entirety of Metroid, the Shine Spark. Not only that, but this is the first time we are introduced to the new improved Shine Sparks. Shine Sparking no longer does damage. It does not drain your energy, and it is a whole lot easier to aim it. There are, however, two downsides. We can no longer short charge like we could in Super Metroid, and the wind-up and bonk animations for the Shine Spark are kind of long. So the thing they gotta keep in mind is, depending on how long the Shine Spark could be, it's not necessarily faster than just running. So that's as we long ago established, this is a linear game, so these little optimizations in Metroid Fusion, a trick that saves you less than a second, but is still a huge trick. Anything that saves you more than a second is considered groundbreaking. So every little time save counts in Metroid Fusion. Because in all honesty, this game is actually pretty bulletproof. It wasn't until coming up on 2 years ago now, that we finally discovered how to finally sequence break in this game, do the memory corruption. And this game came out in 2002, so any time saves we find are all due entirely to routing or movement. But now that we're done with Sector 4, it's time to dry off a bit. And what better way than going to the desert sector, PYR. Everything's a little bit red. Everything's a little bit nacho cheese. They hand you your cowboy boots and hat at the door. But we can't wear them because we're in a power suit. Although if someone out there did want to draw Samus wearing a cowboy hat and having a little spurs on her boots, I would not be opposed to that. That would actually be kind of amazing. Metroid Fusion Yeehaw Edition. But anyways, now that they're in Sector 3, they're going to be on their way to one of my favorite upgrades. They're going to upgrade missiles. In this game, unlike other past Metroids, super missiles are not a separate power-up. They are actually an upgrade to your missiles. That's right. In Metroid Fusion, all your missiles become super. Ooh, Scotty doing a minor optimization there. Shine Sparking to only break the one block so you can just shoot through the rest of them. But before they can get the super missiles, they have to get to the data room, which is behind a locked green door. So it's time to unlock the doors again. Scotty has done it. Reseren about to do it right here. Oh no! Oh no! Reseren accidentally pressing left too early and changing the direction of his Shine Spark. Oh my goodness, he had to go get another charge. That's an unfortunate time loss there. Oh, Scotty. Scotty is a man who does everything as fast as possible, and I have mad respect for the guy for that. But you know what? One trick that I'm sad we lost was the shine break in that room right there. It's not actually faster than just climbing. Actually, wait. It's about half a second faster. Wait, I think that retimed? There's been a lot of retiming in this game recently, and I'm a little bit behind. There's a couple of them that I'm not familiar with. The point I'm trying to make is Shine Break, Shine Spark in the vertical shaft there is one of my favorite tricks in Sector 3, and neither of them got it. I'm not sure if it's by choice or because they didn't get the Shine Break. It could be either, but I just don't know. Meanwhile, Scotty! Getting Data Spark! Look, I need you all to understand something about Data Spark. Data Spark is an extremely tight, difficult to set up trick that you have to do in that data room. You have to basically stop running and then skid and crouch in a very specific way for your charge to last long enough to do that. It's really hard, and Scotty somehow gets it consistently. I'm still not sure how he does it. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyways, now they've got super missiles. Missiles now have the most satisfying kaboom and shake the room. But now Scotty going to show us some Critty 7 strats right here. Rather than making the box go to the left, he's just going to bring the fight to the box and get inside its hitbox. That was a flawless box fight. It does not get any faster than that. That is as fast as you can do that fight, RTA. Yeah, Scotty definitely showing off the newer RTA strats. This game did switch from in-game time to real time on the leaderboards last year, so we've actually had a bit of a strategy renaissance in this game, where we've rerouted some rooms and developed some new strats that are actually a little bit faster RTA. So it's kind of cool to see the runners already adopting them. Meanwhile, Reseren, also doing Critty 7 and having a really, really good box fight. That is actually in part because Reseren has actually been one of the people spearheading the development of the new RTA strats. He's been coming up with some real good stuff, including some cleanup strats we will be seeing later. So this is a bit of an interesting race in that regard. We have someone who is the undisputed master of the game, and we have the person who's been developing all the hottest cutting edge strats. And both of them now done with Sector 3, on their way to Sector 6. Double the pleasure, double the fun, because apparently somehow double a desert equals nighttime. That's just how it works, I guess. Don't expect me to understand how that particular one works. Because I somehow smacked my teeth with my bottle. Ow, God, that hurts. Okay, that'll heal in time. That'll heal in time. But now that they're in Sector 6, there is a new danger on the block. The X-Parasites have decided that blue raspberry is the flavor of the day, and unfortunately Samus hates blue raspberry, which means that if she grabs a blue raspberry X, she takes damage, because that's how deep her hatred of that flavor runs. But thankfully, since we're playing on either Game Boy interface or emulator, depending on how you roll, we don't have to worry about Sector 6 being dark. Because it is the nocturnal sector, you can kind of barely see a circle of light around Samus. The rest of it's supposed to be kind of supposedly dark and hard to see, but it really isn't. It really isn't. It might have been on the original GBA without the backlight, but in this modern age, nah. Thankfully, though, the route that both of them are going to be taking has very few blue X's along the way, so there's not too much to worry about here. Ooh, Scotty did not drop the bomb before picking up the E-Tank. We call that one the free tank, because since the bomb is exploding during the text box, you don't actually lose any time picking it up. But here we go. Guess who's back? You have to be very, very quiet, though. No careless whispers from any of you. Now, Scotty's going to show us a real cool strat here. Scotty does not like waiting for the sax to move ahead and then shoot it and jump around it. Scotty just starts moving immediately. That's a strat that I don't believe anyone else does that. I think that's pretty much unique to him. And getting that missile, and going to be on his way now. Next room has the eye door for the next boss. We're going to be seeing Reseren do the classic strat. Let the sax take a step, shoot it, then it jumps over you, and you move ahead, no trouble. All right, Scotty, how many beams are you going to get here? No, Reseren actually doing Scott. Oh, I didn't know Res did that strat. I didn't know he did that strat. He did get frozen though, but since he got frozen right above the crumble blocks, he was okay. That could have ended badly if he had been frozen anywhere else. Now Scotty, giant corrects. Once again, using the flare. He can turn it into a 4-cycle fight if he gets it, and he gets it. But first double, good. This is a 6-missile core, but now with super missiles, the doubles are harder to get. Faster speed, longer cooldown. He missed a double, so it's not going to be a triple, a 3. Oh! But he gets it. It took 1 extra cycle, but he got it. That was a very clean fight. Unfortunately, Reseren's luck for eye doors might have been running out. Looks like he got multiple beams there by looks of it. Now Scotty going to show us a JBJ. We talked about them earlier. Here's the other one. Oh, this was actually pretty difficult. You got to do it just right. Meanwhile, Rez, first hit looks good. Second hit, oh, it went down. Third hit looks good. Can he get the 4th cycle? Yes. Can he get the double? Yes. Can he get triple doubles here and gain some time back? Second double. Rez, can he get the triple? He can. Reseren showing us the perfect 4-cycle triple double. Giant corrects. Scotty, unfortunately, taking a few tries to get that bomb jump there. I don't know if Rez goes for it as well, but he can gain some. But actually, I'm trying to remember how much time do you gain from doing the bomb jump? Rez is going for classic strats. He's going to be basically just going around this room twice because you can't get the JBJ consistently. It is definitely not quicker to attempt it a bunch of times. Actually, I think I can fairly certainly say that Sky did actually lost time over just doing it traditionally with how many tries it took him to get that. But now with the very astute, talking about it also makes you retch a little bit. This suit is kind of gross looking. Which part of the bracket is this? This is the grand finals. This is the grand finals. We made it all the way to the end. Scotty finishing off Sector 6 here. Into the navigation room. Reseren right behind him. Having fallen behind a little bit more, though. This is more than a few seconds behind now. This race is far from over. There's still a lot of randomness to deal with, and there's still a whole lot of execution that both of them have to do. So it is way too early to call this race in the bag for anybody, but we cannot deny that Scotty is playing so cleanly. He is continuing to pull ahead. That is an excellent point. Unfortunately, I do not have a way to add text to the SpeedGaming overlays, so I cannot add the words Grand Finals to this anywhere. However, what I can do is that anytime anyone asks, I can very emphatically let you all know once again that we're at the Grand Finals. Yes, this is the Grand Finals. All right, but now we're made to Sector 5, the final of the 6 sectors. Finally, we're going into the nice, cool sector. Everything is just a little bit light blue. The music is just the slightest bit chimey, you know. All those very video gamey ice things. Here's your fun fact for the day. Since Samus is part Metroid now, if you went into this sector before Sector 6, because you can, since the doors were unlocked, Samus would in fact start taking damage over time like in a heated room, because she doesn't like the cold, because Metroids hate cold. But in this, unfortunately for us though, the downside of this first visit to Sector 5 is that we are here for the Ice Missile upgrade, which takes the Super Missiles and makes them worse. It gives them a little bit more utility, but unfortunately, it gets rid of the kaboom, it gets rid of the screen shake, and you can't one-shot enemies with them anymore, which is sad. And Sector 5 also has the hidden final boss of the game, which is to say, getting confused. We visit Sector 5 more than any other sector. And since we go through the same rooms in the same direction a lot of times, it is surprisingly easy to get disoriented and go to the wrong place. In fact, in an earlier Fusion tournament, CScottyW famously did just that and started leaving before getting the ice missiles, which is a very costly mistake. It costs, I want to say, well over a minute, and then he still won. That's just the kind of person we're dealing with here. But with any luck, I think since he realizes he will never be able to live that down, he's going to make sure it never happens again. So I can say with great amount of certainty, Scotty will not do that again. Because that's how it is in the Metroid Fusion community. If you do something big in a tournament race, you are never allowed to forget it, because nobody else ever will, and they will remind you about it until the end of time. In a playful fashion, of course. We don't actually give him a hard time for it. Well, at least I don't. I hope nobody else does. That would just be mean-spirited. And Scotty's actually a really, really nice guy. Oh, Scotty! Wow. I got so confused as to what room he was in for a moment there. Anyways, time for a puzzle room right here. This is another one of the fun recurring puzzles. You kill an enemy. Oh, Scotty gets the worst positioning! He just gotta wait! You have to kill an enemy and have it reform as a different one. In that case, you want the Ripper to appear further right in the room so you can freeze it immediately, but he got left and moving left. That's as bad as it gets. Thankfully, he manages to make do, although he gives it a few angry shots of his beam there along the way. Reseren about to do the same thing. Some folks do like to do this room later, but both of them opting to do it now. Let's see if Rez gets better positioning. Oh, he does! Unfortunately, that positioning right there, you have to freeze it immediately, otherwise it goes too far to the right too quickly. That's probably the second worst positioning you can get. And here we go, Scotty. You can on Scotty's screen, you can see his friend appearing in the background there. That's a very good indicator that you are done here and you can leave the sector safely. And that is not, but that's not the biggest indicator. That is, of course, this. Everybody say it with me now. Emergency! Emergency. And chat, please, for the last time this tournament, I'm going to need your help. Where is the emergency? Let me know. Yes, yes indeed. It is time for the emergency in Frankerzy. 6 minutes to main Magoo explosion. What are we going to do? And once again, special shout-outs to those folks who highlight their emergency message, because that always makes my day. Using your hard-earned channel points to highlight how big a deal the emergency is. That's right, 6 minutes to deal with the boiler, because in the future we still have boilers, because you know what? Sometimes heated water really is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Chat, I love you. Don't ever change. Thankfully, 6 minutes ends up being a little bit more than we need. Just a little bit. And we know exactly where the problem is, so we're going to head on down to the bottom of Sector 3 to take care of it. Just like this. Scotty having a little bit of struggle with that stretchy there, but continuing to move forward pretty well otherwise. This area does, however, they do still have... What?! Oops. Oh my god, Scotty! I have never seen that strat in my life. I would have absolutely lost my gourd if he had pulled that off. Here we go. The last big room right here before making it to the eye door. My god, I'm still half shook from that thing he tried doing there. Ooh. But Scotty, first to make it to the eye door. Let's see if his luck is going to improve here. Oh no, he gets a beam. Okay, one beam. 443 door time. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Can't complain about that. But now this is a 4-missile core, and it's a beam core. So he's got to do a setup here to get the double doubles. Can he get it? Ooh, I think he missed the first one there. But he can still get sweet spot. And he does. That's going to be a 427 emergency time. A strong time. Although I'm sure Scotty's probably gonna be a little bit miffed it's not above a 4:30, but 4:27, you can't really be mad about a 4:27 in a race. You really can't. That's a solid time. And now he's got the wide beam. F's in the chat for the Spazer. We barely knew you. And Rez also getting one beam and getting a 440, low 446. That was a real good door time there. Let's see if he can get himself some double-doubles. I couldn't tell if that missile tinked or not. He gets the double-double! Reseren getting a 432! That is a very good time. Very, very good emergency time. Very well played from Rez there. Both of them showing us excellent emergencies, but Rez showing us just a slightly nicer one. I think that's honestly the takeaway of this grand final. I think Scotty has a well-earned reputation for just being a monster at this game, but sometimes I think everybody forgets that there are multiple monsters in this game, and Rez is one of them. He is one of the undisputed best. And he's reminding us why here today. But now they're both done with Sector 3 for now. We'll be back later. Oh no, Reseren is not a new face in Fusion. Reseren's been around for quite a long time. In fact, he's one of the major innovators of new routing in the RTA era in the last few months. And I discombobulated myself. Don't worry, I got this. Hydrate a bit. All right. Now that they have fixed the emergency, the time has come to do one of the most important actions of the entire run. Go back to that main deck, head on up to the habitation deck, and save the animals. That's right. The animals from Super Metroid, they're here! They're here! And we get to save them. And I think... Scotty? Scotty! Oh no, does Scotty have trouble with his GBA? Oh no. What? Something broke? Pete break? Scotty, no. Scotty, no! Oh my God, Scotty. My guess would have been that something went wrong with his SP, because I know that's happened to me before. The one downside to using GBAs as controllers with the Game Boy player or Game Boy interface is that if for whatever reason your GBA resets or turns off, you lose control. It has to be turned on and connected. But that's okay. You're just going to go up here, pull off the impossible strat, first try. Reseren going for the more traditional wall jump strat, a little bit slower, but a lot more consistent. Well, depending on who you ask, obviously. For Scotty, he gets impossible strat every time. Both of them getting the shine break, though. This is the most consistent shine break of the entire run. Let's see how the animals treat him. Scotty getting, not very good animals. I'm going to keep it real with you. Those are pretty bad animals. And Rez getting also pretty bad animals. Both of them having, unfortunately, not the best luck with animals here today. It's always that third Edacoon. That third Edacoon who heard Scotty talking about a pee break and realized that it too needed a pee break. Both of them just ran off to the bathroom at the worst possible time. But this has, however, turned this into a slightly more exciting race. Now Reseren entering the cutscene, the eye-searingly bad cutscene, right as Scotty exits it. So Scotty's still maintaining his lead, but it's a little bit closer than it was a couple minutes ago. But in any case, now it's time to go back to Sector 5 for the second of many times, because this time, we talked about them earlier, some of y'all made fun of it earlier, but the time has come now to embrace the silliness. That's right. We're going to answer the question, what happens when you decide to make a power-up that has no other power than to just be really, really loud? It's time for the power bombs. It's time for the power bombs. Back to Sector 5 we go to get the power bombs, now with two new powers, the power to X-ray scope and the power to whoosh really loudly into the microphone. That's right. Audio balancing was not something that was apparently super high on the priorities list during the development of this game. I love this game, but the audio balancing is a little bit weird. What sound? You know exactly what sound a power bomb makes. Yes, perhaps a slight warning to headphone users. The power bombs do get very... It's like, have you ever seen a news reporter stand outside during a windstorm report on, like, bad weather? And you get that whipping, whooshing sound that you can't get rid of over the microphone, even with a pop filter. Imagine that without the pop filter. I feel personally attacked by that remark. I very much appreciate good sound engineering, excuse you. But anyways, here we go. Scotty, first to make it to the data room, going to download some sounds. And... yeah, we have downloaded powerbomb.flac over here. And here we go, here it comes! Oh no, Reseren goes for the goes for the jump extend right there, but doesn't quite get it. That's definitely the fastest way to do that room, but as it turns out, if you miss it, you fall. And there's a long distance you can fall. Oh yeah, and here's the sax again. I'm still not sure how a saxophone wears high heels, because dang it, that clippity clopping it makes is really, really loud. Oh no, Scotty gets bad positioning on that ripper, but he makes the most of it, freezing it before it gets too far left. And getting on out of there. Thankfully, both of them dropping that power bomb high enough to be able to break the ceiling there. If you drop it too far down, you have to drop a second one. Ooh, Scotty not going to show us Kadoom strats in this room. He never does, but I always kind of hold out hope that he might. I wonder if Rez will show us Kadoom strats in that room, though. That is one of my favorite room strats, is the Kadoom strat for this vertical room here. Ah, neither of them doing it. That's unfortunate. Unfortunately, it is a route through this room that you can only do with power bombs that is not actually faster than the strat you saw them both do. But dang, it looks so cool. And here in this puzzle room, Scotty gets it no trouble. You gotta freeze the ripper in the correct spot and make sure to get across, because as you can see right there, crumble blocks. All sorts of crumble blocks. Scotty, both of them, graciously dropping power bombs so that I can show you all the crumble blocks. But both of them, no trouble, freezing the rippers in just the right spot, getting through there nice and smooth. This is one of those rooms where making a mistake is extremely costly, but neither of them having to pay the piper there. Just get right on through, nice and quick. Thankfully with power bombs, we also don't have to go all the way around the big room. Just blow out this hidden passageway right here. Get on out. Leaving Sector 5, Scotty's still maintaining his own lead. But Reseren still playing well, doing his very best to keep up, but Scotty's just playing really, really well today. sprint. The thing about Fusion speedrunning is it just takes time. It really does. This is a game where you really just have to you just have to play through it, just practice all the movement. This is not a run one gets good at overnight. Even Scotty didn't get record overnight. It took him a while to get to that point. No sequence breaking in this game except for memory corruption. Memory corruption is the only thing we've been able to really do with it. Oh no, absolutely. This game is a spectacularly fun speedrun. It is one of my favorite speedruns, in fact. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But Scotty's also a statistical outlier. The point is, this is definitely not a game you can expect to get good at quickly. You have to dedicate time, and Scotty dedicated a lot of time to this game offline. That's the thing that he barely ever talks about. But he did do a lot of offline practice. And here we go, stopping back the ship to let Dad know, Dad, I understand there are animals in the back seat. Don't worry, they're mine. I picked them up at the shelter. They've had all their shots. Everything is fine. No, I will not take them back. And now we have made it to one of the most interesting parts of the run. I'm talking about the boss gauntlet. That's right. It is time to face off against multiple bosses, actually pretty rapid fire, one after the other here. Each of them is very different, and it is going to be a wild ride, starting off with this first boss here. Oh boy, we love this first boss. We love Yakuza. Yakuza is absolutely not a nightmare of RNG who can give us extra cycles, and we just can't do anything about it. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Here we go. Scotty going to shoot off the top of the screen, jumping to get hits before Yakuza appears. He's got to get him to open his mouth one more time. That's all it takes, but whether or not he will, well, who knows? Nope. Didn't do it that time. There we go. That was actually pretty good luck there. We've been getting a lot of 4 cycles, so to only get the to only get the 2 cycle, yeah, we take those. We take those. Let's see how it goes for Reseren here. Oh no. Oh no! Okay. Rez gets himself a 3 round. We can roll with this. We can roll with this. Unfortunately, phase 2 is definitely the more challenging phase. It bounces around the room, random speed, random direction. You just have to adapt. And to make things worse, these are ice missile doubles. With every single missile upgrade, double missiles get harder to do, and this is a 6 missile core. But Rez is looking good here. Ow, that was a real good core fight. That was a real good core fight. Well, Monkey, if you really want to mince words, random number generation in computing is not actually random. There's a sequence to it, but it's one of those things where, as far as we're concerned, it is functionally indistinguishable from randomness. Oh yeah, and Scotty had to deal with the sacks there. That's the one chase that you can't actually escape. You have to deal with that one, but it's pretty easy. You just have to freeze it and just move about your merry business. Yeah, exactly. It's pseudo-random number generation. Oh, 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 oh! Rez having a little bit of trouble missiling that block, but he manages to get down there before the Sax shoots him. And now it's time for the next boss already. Scotty already at the eye door. Oh my god! Oh no! Was that 4 beams? Was that 4 beams? I think that might have been 4 beams. Thankfully, oh my god, 4 beams is the worst luck you can get at this point in the game on an eye door. Thankfully, this boss, Notori, is essentially just stand there and shoot missiles, because it doesn't move. And Scotty, ooh, Scotty having a very clean core fight. That was an excellent Notori fight from Scotty. And getting the sweet spot, now armed with the plasma beam. Let's see if Rez can have an equally good fight here. The thing about spamming missiles in this game is you can hammer the button if you want, but it's not quite as fast as just timing it. Reseren setting up for doubles. Their doubles are a bit harder in this fight just because the room is short. But it looks like he got doubles. He just has to get the positioning, and ooh, he gets it. Also, an excellent fight from Rez. Both of them are showing us real good fights. And oh my gosh, Scotty getting the quick spark in that room. If you shine spark as quickly as possible in that room, the enemy will knock you out of the bonk animation, saving you time. And we love saving time. Wait, Scotty. Oh wait, no, I was thinking of a different area. Never mind. Interesting. Is it actually faster to grab that now as opposed to cleanup? Yeah, Monkey, I'm not sure. Scotty's been showing me 2 or 3 things that I didn't know about, so I'm genuinely not sure if it's faster to grab it now or not. Actually, wait. He did not. He hasn't gotten the missile on the left yet. That's actually, that didn't occur to me until right now. Yeah, normally we're going to do what Rez does here, and wait. Rez is doing it too. This is a brand new this is a strat so new that apparently only Reseren and Scotty know this. That's how new the strat is, because in the old way, you would go up the left side of that room and get the missile there, and then get the tank that you saw them get during cleanup. So I guess now it's actually faster to do it the other way around. Okay. I dig it. I don't get it, but I dig it. Yeah, imagine withholding strats from everyone who's not your opponent for the grand finals. Gosh, what an odd way to compete. And here we go, Scotty setting up for the legendary, the one, the only. He's up! Flying through the eye like he has rockets on his feet. Through a room, through another room, and bam! The Nightmare Shine Spark. The single longest Shine Spark in the game. And the most important one, too. That one saves quite a bit of time. Unfortunately, now it's time to run through water. Oh no, Rez! Oh no, Rez! Rez accidentally was trying to spin to jump down, but accidentally activated a horizontal Shine Spark. Thankfully, he has a backup right here. Thankfully, we have backups for the Nightmare Shine Spark. Here we go. Getting it. That Shine Spark is important enough that you want to get the backup. If you miss the initial setup, you always go for the backup. Multiple times even, because that's faster than just running through the rooms. Oh, Rez. Ooh, Rez. Rez, please. Yeah. God, imagine being in the grand finals and not agreeing with your opponent beforehand to do Nightmare Space Boost. Shoot. What is this? You know, everybody say hello to the fish pirates. I hate the fish pirates. Death to the fish pirates. And here we go. Scotty first to make it to the boss that probably gave a lot of folks trouble, if not just, you know, bad dreams when they were kids. Here he is, Nightmare. A 3-phase fight that behaves like a 2-phase fight. There's the first phase, you missed it, and that was the second phase. Here we go. Now it's just time to fire as much ordnance into whatever that... What does that face look like to you? Because I sure don't know. Unfortunately, once it starts moving fast, though, this becomes a bit of a dance here, because it's either following you or an invisible dot. You have to try to get it on screen. Ooh! Scotty gets it, but it's not in a good position. Thankfully, he's dealt enough damage before he was able to still finish it off, even with the bad positioning there. Gets the first double. This is a 6-missile core. Second double. Can he get the triples? Yes! And a sweet spot. Excellent fight from Scotty. Meanwhile, Rez, first phase, you missed it again. Second phase, here we go. Taking full advantage of the flare and missiles to maximize damage. And third phase, let's see how it goes for Rez here. Giant catbot booger face. Man, that's a lot of boogers, though. Can you imagine if you blew your nose and there were eyes there? Oh, God, that's actually pretty gross. I'm sorry I said that out loud. So Rez needs to get Nightmare's body on screen. There we go. Good positioning for Rez. And done. Very textbook fight from Reseren. Can he get the triple doubles, though? Yes, there's the first double. There's the second double. Can he get the triple in the sweet spot? Yes! Yes, he can! Scotty and Reseren showing us here a stereoscopic masterclass in how to do Core X fights. Both of them just showing off sweet spots and doubles left and right. Wonderful, wonderful gameplay. Oh, Scotty! I think Scotty was trying to go for a super quick strat that I saw him messing around with on stream some time back. Unfortunately, didn't quite get it, so he ran back and had to get his charge a second time. Meanwhile, making it through the worst room in the game right here, taking almost no damage. Holy cow. The worst room in the game, we call it that because those little slugs are really hard to kill, and those croissants are very difficult to dodge, but Scotty made it through really clean. That's not easy to do. Reseren showing off a space boost and an R shot right there, being able to shoot the door without breaking out of speed. Let's see how this room goes for him. Oh my god, so many croissants! Oh god! I miss being able to go to my favorite French bakery. They are closed right now. Dang, I want some croissants. Yo, Reseren though. Reseren! Ooh! Also showing us a really good worst room. That's why these two are in the grand finals. Both of them just exceptionally good players. And Scotty first to make it to the final of the door locks, unlocking the red doors. Now just has to take care of another puzzle room right here. Please remember this one for later on. There will be a test. Kill a bunch of enemies, have them reform as gold enemies, and killing the gold enemies opens the doors. But yeah, this is, for those of you who may not be familiar with this part of the run, this is what we call Underwater Sector 4. Because it is in Sector 4, and it's underwater, and it has this very soothing, aquatic-sounding music, which belies the fact this is actually an extremely dangerous part of the run. Because even though they now have Gravity Suit, can move freely through the water, and take a lot less damage than they could before, the game knows this, because remember, it's linear, so the damage is scaled, and everything hurts more. Because, I don't know, I guess Nintendo decided that it didn't want to deal with your happiness today. So, as you can see, Reseren's already having a bit of a struggle, taking some damage there. Thankfully, that E-Tank gets them back to full health. And they're coming up on a difficult, tricky... Oh boy, the RTMP just... oh boy, the RTMP server's having a bit of a hiccup here. Give me one moment. Alright, Scotty is going to be setting up for a fun, challenging Shine Spark thing here. He's going to do a Shine Spark right before hitting that wall, go through the pillar, restore the charge, get the missile, restore the charge again, and then use it to break through the ceiling here. Bam! Easy. This trick is definitely preferable to the intended strat, which is running through the room below, and then having to go through then having to go left and then back over. It's a tricky one, though. It's very easy to accidentally bonk into the pillar when you're trying to get that shine charge the first time. And with that, Scotty going to be visiting the final data room right here to get the diffusion missiles, the most misunderstood of upgrades. Alright, Reseren. So far, so good. Going to freeze that slug. Actually, it's more of a snail, I guess. It has a shell. Gets the charge again. No problem. Both of them showing us that strat real smooth. But diffusion missiles also showcase another fun property of this game, because you see diffusion missiles, they take a hilarious number of seconds to charge. I want to say it's, what, 6 seconds? It's a lot. It's way too many seconds. But as it turns out, if you start charging your beam or the diffusion missiles through a transition, you get a free charge on the other side. You get a free charge on the other side. So now with diffusion missiles, it is super important. You're going to, anytime they're going to use them, you will see them start to charge right before a screen transition, in order to not have to wait those extra seconds for the charge. And Scotty grabbing that powerbomb tank, and Rez going to be going to grab it right now. With that, they're done with Sector 4. That is actually the last item in Sector 4. There is no more cleanup to be done in this wet place, which is good. Because, don't get me wrong, I like going to the swimming pool, but the smell of chlorine lingers a little bit too long, and then I have a bad time. Alright. Scotty going to be the first on his way to Sector 6, while Reseren finishes Sector 4 right here. Sector 6, we're going to be back here one more time later. This time, however, the problem is we need to deal with the box again. Box, back from its earlier fight where it was still holding an enormous grudge from having been double mollywopped. So it spent a lot of time practicing its moves, going into training mode, winning some locals, and now it's got the Microsoft sponsorship, and it is a professionally sponsored fighting game security robot, the Xbox, and they gotta finish it off. Finish what they started before. But first, they're gonna have to take a little bit of a detour there because they need to see about getting into a restricted area. We're not supposed to be there. It's restricted after all. But you know, maybe they'll let us in. Maybe they'll just give us authorization. Alright, Reseren reading up on what's happening in Sector 6, while Scotty going to be setting up to enter the lowest parts of Sector 6 here. Nothing a power whoosh can't fix. Wall, don't care. Going right through it. It occurs to me I actually forgot to mention a bit about the plasma beam. We love the plasma beam in this game. It goes through enemies, and it does damage per frame, and then it's in their hitbox. Oh, dang it, I was so distracted by the plasma beam, I didn't realize there was no entry without authorization. That's my bad. That's my bad, I'm sorry. However, it doesn't matter, it's time for box. Xbox, go! Scotty going to show us, again, just bringing the fight directly to Xbox here, jumping into its hitbox, and then going to be getting up on these monkey bars, dodge the missiles, and then try to get the diagonal shots. That hitbox is recessed, though, so you have to be pretty precise in your angling. But he gets it. That's really what matters. This is a 4-missile core. You don't really worry about doubles in this one, because that's double missiles in this core is a TAS-only thing, but Scotty does get himself a... Oh, I was about to say double something. We got double nothing, because this is wave core. You don't get doubles on wave core. Unless you're Monkey, in which case you promise to get doubles on wave core and then don't. I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten! Yeah, no, absolutely. You can't... Getting doubles on that... Getting doubles on wave core is essentially TAS only. It is RTA possible, but is so absurdly inconsistent that it's really not something you go for. Meanwhile, we have developed our own authorization by virtue of wave beams shooting through walls. So hey, guess what? There are in fact Metroids in this Metroid game. Ta-da! Unfortunately, not everybody likes Metroids in Metroid games. The Sax does not, in fact, because I don't know if you know, but the biggest enemy of jazz music is in fact the Metroid. Not prog rock, as you might have heard. Unless, of course, Metroids are secretly funding progressive rock, and if so, I have a great many questions about how the music industry works. But anyways, now that the block party in the restricted sector has been shut down, ejected, and exploded in outer space, as one does with block parties, the time has come now to get a lecture, because you know how it is. We were supposed to be studying at the library, but instead we were at a party, and Dad is very disappointed, so he wants to talk to us about it. But now that he's done talking to us about it, it's time for a few more items before the final Idor boss. So here we go. I'm going to charge that diffusion through the door right there. Oh my gosh, Reseren having a little bit of trouble getting out of there. But he makes it out. No trouble. Yes, indeed. We are coming up to the final Idor. Behind the final Idor is the final of the regular bosses, as I call them. I don't think anyone else does. But first, there's a couple of items we have to grab down here, because we will not be back here later. We are getting really, really close to the end game, folks. And that's a gold pirate, which is now dead. Yeah, let's talk a bit about the gold pirates, because they're kind of fun. So gold pirates, the big gimmick with them is you can only shoot them in the back. The way the game checks if you are behind them is if you're facing the same direction, because the game reasons, not unreasonably so, that if you're shooting somebody and you're facing the same direction, you're probably behind them. What this actually means in practice is if you fire and then turn around, you can hit them. Scotty's just saying, don't care about charge beam, just gonna fire missiles and then not look at explosions because I'm a cool guy. It's cool guy. How many beams, Scotty? How many beams? What's gonna be your legacy? 2 beams! 2 beams! And everybody, here he is! He's been practicing! Let Ridley sing you the song of his people! Alright everybody, now it's time for the core. This is a 6-missile core again, but these are diffusion doubles, the hardest doubles to get in the game. This is the hardest core to get doubles on. Sky's gonna go for as many as he can. He gets a double! Even getting 1 is considered a victory here. And he gets 1 double, but manages to get himself a sweet spot. And with that we get Screw Attack, an extremely powerful item that doesn't just give us a whole lot of power and invincibility, but it also opens up the last of the hidden passages. What's that? What's that? Hang on. Oh no! Oh no, Reseren! Oh no! I was gonna give y'all an encore, but Reseren's game audio is unusable! No! Oh, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Ah. Oh, I'm disappointed. I'm sorry, friends, I tried. Let's see if Res can get himself some doubles there. I don't think that was a double. Yeah, and like I was saying, ooh, he gets a double right there, though. 1 double for Res, 1 double for Scotty. Both of them showing us real good fights. But with that, now that both of them have the Screw Attack, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Put on that bandana. Grab those rubber gloves, double fist those brooms. It's time for cleanup. It is time for cleanup. That's right. We can now officially free roam in this game, go wherever we want, whenever we want, and we are going to do that. Get every last item remaining. This is the highest skill, most challenging part of 100%, right here at the end of it. And they're going to start it off here with Sector 1. Scotty going for the short charge here, not going into the save room. It's a little bit tighter, but he gets it. He has to Shine Spark up here, and very, very nice. That's as smooth as you can do it. That's probably the most challenging part of Sector 1 cleanup right there, is doing that Shine Charge as short as possible. Let's see if he can do it again on the way back. Can he crouch before going through the door? Yes! Yes, Scotty doing the absolute optimal setup right there. Very well done. Now he just has to get this E-Tank in the ceiling. No problem. All right, Reseren setting up to the Shine Spark in the pirate shaft right here. Gets it, no trouble. One thing I do like about cleanup, though, is that it gives us a few more chances for the diffusion missiles to shine, because we really don't see them much at all in any percent, but we do get several chances to see them here in 100%. For asking in chat, JP version is not actually have any tricks that are faster than any other version. It's just the text. You save minutes on the text. English actually has out-of-bounds tricks that this version does not, but most runners just prefer to save the time in text. Especially now that the boards are RTA. Alright, Reseren also having no trouble getting himself through that sequence of Shine Sparks. Getting that E-Tank. Ooh, Scotty going for swag, going for the space boost and the R-Shot. He carries it all the way through. Flawless space boost from Scotty. The much safer strat there is just to do a Shine Spark, but opting to go for the space boost and doing the R-Shot, carrying it all the way through, top tier swag. Did Scotty forget to grab the other item higher up in Sector 1? I feel like there was something up there he needed to grab. Unless he grabbed it earlier and I missed it. Yeah, there's supposed to be, Okay. Let's wait and see what Rez does. If Rez also doesn't go for it, then I just missed it and I'll accept full responsibility for that. Oh my god. Yo, Reseren also going. Reseren also going for that space boost. Yeah, you're right. It is a screw attack ceiling to get to it. Oh no. Oh no, this could be bad news. This could be bad news. Both of them doing it. Both of them doing what? I am so confused right now. No, we're not talking about the one in the lava. There's a power bomb tank to the right of the main large room in Sector 1 that you normally grab it right there before leaving Sector 1 and cleanup. Both of them have opted to not get it, so this is apparently a new strat, but I don't know what it is. When do they go back and get it then? I'm really confused. All right, both of them showing up. Okay, Reseren, you see him right there, do a little bomb jump there. Fun fact, while a power bomb is exploding, you can't climb a ledge. So you have to make use of the bomb there if you want to get up there before the power bomb is done doing its explosion. I don't know. Both of them opting to go left in Sector 3 here before going right. In game time, it is faster to go right first, but now it's quicker to just take care of this bottom left cleanup first. Ah, okay. That was my other thought. So rather than going through the main deck to get back up, they're going to be going from Sector 2 to Sector 1 at the end of cleanup. Goodness gracious. There's been a fair bit of rerouting that I did not know about in recent days then, because this is all pretty new to me, and I generally try to keep up with what's going on in this game. Yes. In the event that one of them does miss an item, though, it is a flat time penalty for the item missed. And the time penalty is not a guaranteed loss, but it's a pretty hefty time penalty, so in practically all cases it is a loss. Alright, Scotty having a little bit of trouble getting up there to get that E-Tank, though, but there he is, he grabs it. And he just has one more thing to grab here in Sector 3, and he's done. Remember, don't miss this powerbomb tank. That one's real easy to forget. Very clean Sector 3s from both of them. Into Sector 5 for Scotty. Reseren just going to be grabbing the last couple of things here in Sector 3. Oh yeah, that's one of the things I love about 100%. It's just you get to see so many more rooms and just stuff that you would not get to see in any percent. Doing some real optimized movement there. Freezing the enemy as he jumps, and then gonna go into this room with that Shine Spark, grab that missile tank, but wait, he's not done yet. Power bombs. No, cleanup is very hard. This is unironically the most challenging part of the run. Alright, Reseren into Sector 5 while Scotty about done. Just has one more thing to grab here in Sector 5. Then he's on to the dreaded Sector 6 cleanup. Sector 6 we joked about before. We had our laughs, but the simple fact of the matter is Sector 6 cleanup is the most challenging sector in cleanup. There are multiple puzzle rooms, and doing them optimally is something that, well, screwing it up costs you a lot of time. So, let's see how Scotty handles this. Is he going to go for optimal strats? Ooh, he accidentally ran through the door! He accidentally ran through the door! Scotty, no! Alright, he's probably going to go for Space Boost. There's the R shot. Through the door! Oh, no! This is what I was talking about. If you carry that Space Boost all the way through, it is the fastest strat, but if you don't, you gotta do a backup and it costs you time. Sector 6 is definitely challenging. You cannot rest. It's right here at the end of the game, and it will cost you so much time if you're not careful. But Scotty makes it through that first puzzle room just fine. I expect we're going to see Reseren go for some slightly safer strats here, because the super duper optimal strats are faster, but they're not necessarily much faster. Nope, Res going for safer strats. I can respect this. I don't know if he's high enough, though. Nope. He was a little bit too low. Ideally, you want to be just high enough to bonk the horizontal bar at the top there. Yeah, even the backups... Yeah, even the less fast strats still have a chance for failure. Sector 6 is no joke. Monkey, I'm honestly not sure. I've lost track of which Sector 6 strats save how much time. All I know is that the Space Boost is the fastest, and that's all I know. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Alright, Rez gonna go back into the forbidden sector here to grab himself that powerbomb tank floating in the tube between two. It's an odd space to put a tank. Meanwhile, Scotty gonna grab the worst item in the game. This powerbomb tank is the worst item because the fast strat involves a frame perfect jump, which Scotty got second try. The intended strat is to freeze an enemy when they're on top of those crumble blocks. The enemies take forever to get into position, so you're genuinely better off just dropping that power bomb, and then trying for the frame perfect jump multiple times. I'm not even joking about this. That's why it's the worst item. All right, Scotty, let's see if he goes for the new strat here. Nope, he's going for the space boost, and he bonks the door! He bonks the door! Once again, space boost is the fastest there, but there's so many places you can just not go right. Oh no, Scotty, the bombs didn't activate all the little, whatever the heck you call those things. Now Reseren going for that worst item. Oh, dang it! Okay, manages to get the backup strat. If you miss the first one, you can still sometimes hop off the later blocks. No, it's barely faster. The strat we're going to see Reseren do, which he actually developed himself in the recent past, like not that many months ago, is barely slower and much more consistent. It's actually really cool. I'm glad he came up with this. He drops the power bomb to open the door, and then he does a high shine spark here, which will carry him all the way to the E-Tank. Just like that. Super smooth. I love that. Such a good strat. Now it has to get out of here. Reseren had a pretty clean Sector 6. Scotty made a few mistakes there, but unfortunately Scotty had such a big lead coming into cleanup. He's already heading into Sector 2, and Rez is still finishing up Sector 6. And here we are, Scotty into Sector 2, the final sector of cleanup. Actually, I guess not anymore. Now Sector 1 is the final sector. But Sector 2 is the second hardest because of rooms like this one. We call this room Crumble City. Scotty, you going to give us that power bomb? He is not. But what you can't see is, well, you can't see it there. This entire room is made up of crumble blocks. You have to space jump through it to get the items. You are completely at the mercy of the space jump, and as anyone who has played this game can tell you, you never want to be at the mercy of space jump. Ever, ever. It real bad. Alright, Reseren into Sector 4 here. Like we said earlier, Sector 4 is already done. We're just passing through. Just playing through, no big deal. And into Sector 2. Scotty now doing this part right here. Grabbing this missile tank now. Is it actually faster to get this now and then go back into Sector 2? Are you for serious? I am not actually sure what to do with this information. My brain is just kind of spilling out my ears right now. What the deuce did I just watch? Monkey, that's not big brain. That's like freaking colossal brain right there. What the heck? Oh my god. I wasn't ready for that. I don't think Galaxy Brain is big enough. That's more like greater. That's more like general galactic cluster brain. Jesus. Yo, double red X drops for Reseren though. Yeah. Universal brain. There you go. There you go. Plane of existence brain. Multiverse brain. Meanwhile, Scotty takes care of this room that I despise with every fiber of my being, makes it look easy. That room is real rough. It involves a bit more really tight jumping. But Scotty getting really close to being done with Sector 2 here. The Galaxy Brain thing was leaving one missile tank in Sector 1 to grab during Sector 2 cleanup. It's actually faster to go through the connecting tunnel, grabbing it and going back to Sector 2. Which is... It is... My god. I don't even know what to... oh. There's no brain big enough. Reseren making it through that room I hate nice and quickly as well. Scotty about to head into the final puzzle room of the game right here. This is a bit tough. To do it optimally, he has to take a shine charge all the way to the top and then do a really tight, I want to say it's like 4-frame crouch on crumble blocks to maintain the charge and then drop through the room as quickly as possible to not lose the charge. Let's see if he can do it. Here we go. He gets the shine break. Oh, he's not going to get the charge down far enough, though. That's the problem with that trick. Even if you get the shine break, or even if you get the crouch on the crumble blocks, you still have to drop through the room quickly enough to be able to shine spark through that missile. So you had to do a backup. But with that, Scotty is done with all the sectors. He is done with sectors 1 through 6. Nothing left to grab. He's on his way back to the main deck. Reseren heading into that final puzzle room. Let's see if he can get the quick strats. Making his way uptown, running fast, spinning hard. I don't know how the rest of that song goes, so we're just gonna... Why did I even reference that song? Interesting, Reseren playing it a little bit safe here. Gets the perfect crouch! Can he make it down? He can! Reseren showing us a super slick final puzzle room. Very, very well played. That ain't easy to do, my friends. That is not easy. So with that, both of them done with cleanup, in the sectors at least, there's one final item to grab up here on the main deck. Scotty is on his way there now. Just one more door to go through. Now, unfortunately, since they've been using power bombs and missiles, we can't really tell if they have everything at the moment. But once they grab the final Core X, we will know just by looking at their numbers if they have 100%. Right now, though, Scotty is on his way to the true final boss of the game. I'm, of course, talking to the big lecture. Dad is so disappointed we did not come straight home. He's not just giving us a lecture, he's giving us the big lecture, and he's even set up the slide projector. Who in the world has a slide projector in the future? Apparently this guy, and he's giving it to us. This is the single longest dialogue in the entire game. It goes on for so long. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going. When you think that it fades to black and you're done, no. Then it's full screen text boxes. It fades to black, you think you're done? No, you're stuck in the room. You gotta talk to Dad some more. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Alright, Reseren has grabbed himself that final tank as well, and he's going to be heading into the lecture. I don't have too much to say about this, to I'm honest. It's just, there's lore here. But that's not what we're worried about, because Scotty is on his way to fight the Sax. That's right! It is time for the final confrontation with an entire genre of music personified as a killer robot with no pupils. Once again, plasma gives you damage per frame, but the Sax gets knocked back, so you have to keep it frozen when you're shooting by doing these diagonal shots, then immediately firing a missile. If he does it right, you can get it in 4 shots. Looks like 5 shots. Phase 2 is pretty quick, but he has to get the shots just right. Diagonal shot, then a vertical shot as it jumps. He gets it. Phase 2 done. Beam core, 6 missiles. Can he get the doubles? Can he get those triple doubles? He can! Scotty showing us a perfect sax fight.
Propulsion sequence activated.
And with that, it's time to send this whole thing crashing down to the planet, because screw that planet in particular. No, really. Now Reseren going to face off against the Sax as well. Let's see how it goes for him. Freeze the Sax. Keep it locked down while you're shooting. Diffusion doubles are hard. These are the exception because we have a big enough room that you can get enough vertical positioning. Oh, Scotty giving us the zigzag. Swag to the air. Now let's see if Scotty's going to bonk into the wall with a shine spark trying to get low height. That is a very traditionally Scotty thing to do. Oh, it's Reseren. Reseren also giving us triple doubles. Oh, did he? Wait, did he? Oh, I thought Scotty might have gotten low height there. That was real good. But here we go. Here comes a big boy. Give me high two, my friend. Unfortunately, Scotty not being gracious enough to give us the pogo. Shaking my head. We're about to see here in a moment if Scotty has the numbers he needs to prove that he got 100%. Here we go. 250.74. CScottyW confirmed for 100% item pickup. Quick kill on the Omega right there. And with that, once Scotty loses control, faces the screen, he is done. Speed friends, I present to you your 2020 100% Metroid Fusion Tournament champion, CScottyW. Now you have to listen to Reseren without game audio, so let's see. Shink! Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. All right, I'm done. Thanks for playing. Ugh, goodness gracious. And with that, this tournament has come to an end. CScottyW has finished in first place with a time of 1:39.31 with the comment 1:38.50 without P break. And Reseren is finished in second with 1:40.27. GG to both of them. And here he is now, Scotty.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for commentating.
No problem. I saw it as a grand finals. I was kind of like, I can make time for this. I can definitely make time for this. Scotty, what the heck is up with that pee break?
I really had to pee. I'm sorry.
I at first I generally thought, nah, he's just got to be saying that. He must have had like his GBA reset or something. This can't be pee break. I mean, I guess I get it.
Like that wasn't like me trying to stand up Reseren. I just really had to pee.
Okay, I believe you. You've never been one to disrespectfully stall on your opponents. I don't think you're about to start now. Not
that much, no. I'm not gonna clip my toenails in the middle of the race like Ross.
Ross is a statistical outlier and should not be counted. But so anyways, that aside, how'd you feel about that run? You showed off some routes and strats that I had never actually seen before, which is always fun.
Yeah, a number of those routes Reseren had found like just recently, like the picking up those items in cleanup, the one in Sector 1 and the one in Sector 2. Getting both of those in cleanup at the same time instead of getting them like piece for piece, Yeah, one in really cool. One after Notary and one at the very beginning of cleanup. Yeah, Reseren recently timed that to be like 3 or 4 seconds faster.
3 or 4 seconds? That's colossal.
It is pretty big, but that includes getting all of the... There's some pretty tight space boosts there that you need to get the full time save.
That's true.
But it's definitely fun. Nice to change the route up a little bit after running the same route for years.
Yeah, that I will say that's definitely been one of the cool things about the board switch is getting to actually finally see some innovation, just cool new changes to the route after all this time.
Yeah, yeah.
Was there anything in particular that stood out that you were just kind of like, dang it, I can't believe I did that?
Oh, there was one. I think there was one thing. I don't remember where it was, but it just felt good to get. Oh, I got a number of really good sweet spots that I don't normally go for. Like, I think one of the, I think it was Sarah's core where I got it and the core was still completely intact when I picked up the Core X.
Yo, nice.
And that just felt, so good.
Understandably so. Oh, hang on. Oh my gosh, I forgot to click the button. Let's Reseren come in here. I are a good host. Oh yeah, you both of you were actually absolutely killing the core fight. So it's usually it's kind of like, oh, a bit of a struggle. No, you both were just
doing fine. Yeah,
doing the boss
yeah.
fights,
Reseren was doing really well in that race. He was pretty close to PB. I think his PB is like a 140, either OX or 1X.
Oh dang. Well, let's just pull him in here. Reseren, GG.
GG.
Hey, GG.
We were just talking about that. You're pretty close to your PB, weren't you?
I was 8 seconds.
Dang.
Dang. Very well played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was a fake gold at the end because of the different
Yeah, still getting a couple of those.
yeah, my splits are all messed up now.
Yeah, I can deal with that for a bit.
Did you get the item after Notori, or did you select it?
Yeah, I got it after Notori and realized that it's kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I think spalling is...
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, Rez, how were you feeling about that route? We're just done asking Sky the same thing.
Feel about the route?
Just the run.
Oh, the run. It was okay. I mean, I would have PB'd by like seconds if I didn't get terrible Yakuza luck, but
Ooh, yeah.
It happens.
Oh my goodness. I think I only got one door that was a 0 beam
Wow.
in the whole run, and I got a couple 4 beams, I think.
We had pretty bad either RNG, which is why I'm surprised that I actually got pretty close to my PB regardless.
Yeah.
Well, early on, Scott, you would get to like I doors well before Rez, and then Rez would just get 0 and 1 beam.
Yeah, I was keeping up with that. It was really close early game.
Yeah.
I think, I got a 4 beam on Plasma and only lost 4 seconds to my PB. I don't know what my PB got, but it's kind of stupid.
That 4 beam was pretty like, oh god, no.
Just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, I missed the first shot on Sarah, so I was like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Don't worry, I got a 3-round on Saris too.
Oh god. I still got good patterns regardless, but I was like, Jesus, I can't believe
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes, Saris was definitely an oh my god, what's going on? Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
I felt a couple of those during this run.
Yeah. A couple times it's just like, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
Yeah. I did get the that one space boost in Sector 1 though.
One space.
Like near the end, like when you're.
Oh, like during cleanup?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that advice really helped actually.
Yeah, manually dismissing the text box
Mm-hmm.
makes it so much easier.
Yeah, what, are you talking about the space boost to get the two missile tanks in the
Yeah,
lava
the
room?
Jagger strat. Yeah.
What's the thing with the text box?
You fall directly onto it, and then you manually dismiss the text box, and the next frame you can hit jump. So just very quickly move from I do left and then immediately A.
You're
Okay.
basically like buffering it.
Yeah, because when you dismiss a text box, you can move the very next frame.
Oh, even before it disappears?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't fully disappear before you can start moving again. It's different from every other Metroid.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. That's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. Very useful trick. Do a similar thing. I do a similar thing at the speed booster puzzle at the very end of Sector 2 cleanup, right next to Zazabi.
Oh yeah. You mean for crouching on the crumble blocks?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be really useful there, where it's already a pretty tight window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely saves time over pause buffering if you know how long the text box lasts. It's just generally safer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially now with RTA, where pause buffering is a lot less desirable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people generally made fun of people for pause buffering anyway, even before RTA.
Yeah. Pause was like a sign of weakness. One of the filthy pause buffer peasants.
Yeah,
that. So I gotta wonder. So now that this tournament's passed, what's next for Scotty and Reseren?
The Metroid Relay, the 2D Metroid Relay, coming up this weekend.
Oh God, I still have to practice for that.
Up. Yeah, I'm doing Metroid 2 any percent for that.
I'm talking over that.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Awesome.
And I'm doing Fusion any percent, which I need to practice.
Yeah, get on it. It's gonna be a good show for everyone.
Yeah, it should be.
Reseren, are you in that?
No.
Dang, lame.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know it was going on.
Ooh, we need to be better about advertising.
I guess. Maybe I just missed it. I think they announced it during the tournament, so it kind of got lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
No, it's in the announcements channel.
Let me look. Oh, well.
There it is.
Whoops.
Don't worry about it. You know, that'll be cool. All 5 of the 2D Metroids run back to back, 3 different teams.
Yeah, how long is that?
It's
5
gonna
hours?
be any percent, so it's gonna be probably around 4 hours or so.
Okay.
For all the teams, the added PBs are all less than 4 hours, so I'd probably assume about 4 hours.
Okay.
Plus credits, so 415.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it should be a good time.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
I love me some 2D Metroid.
Me too.
Well, I am fresh out of questions to ask. You two have any final things you would like to add?
Thanks for
Thanks.
commentating. So many runs.
Oh, yeah.
You
Practically
commentated
all
like
the runs that had commentary.
80% of the runs were you commentating, so it's really appreciated.
I mean, it's it's kind of like a tank full of steam. You know, when it gets too full, it'll explode. That's kind of me, except with yelling, and this gives me a great chance to do that.
Yeah, well, you do a phenomenal job every time. So thank you very much for that.
And
Well,
yeah, thanks.
Thank all you all for giving me good stuff to talk over. Like, shoot, I weren't getting excited about what I was watching. It'd be a lot harder to do, but it's hard not to get excited when y'all are playing as well as you do.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Thanks.
And well, friends, unfortunately, this is the end of this Metroid Fusion tournament, but that does not mean it is the end of stuff that you can be watching on SpeedGaming. Because in fact, on this very channel, in what looks to be 2 hours, Metroid Prime 2 Rando. So it's not 2D Metroid, but hey, it's still Metroid. And Prime Rando is actually really heckin' cool. And if that's not your thing, then there is... My god, there's a lot of Rando today. Like a lot of Rando. So yeah, go ahead and click that schedule button directly below the stream, and you too can find out about all the Rando. And anything else it's got going on, because there are 6 channels, and all of them have stuff. And for that matter, can we give a shout out to SpeedGaming and Feasel for keeping this whole thing running and just giving us a great place to showcase this tournament. I don't know what I was expecting to happen after I said that.
Nothing happened.
There's no live studio audience. What was I
Are you
thinking?
trying to get me to say something here?
No, it's a guy. I feel like that freaking video I watched of Steve Austin talking to an empty arena. Jesus Christ. Oh. But once again, so Scotty, once again, congratulations. Reseren, GG, and Reseren, special shout outs to you for coming up with so many really good strats throughout the course of the tournament. Like, these are really good 100% strats that you've been coming up with, and I thank you so much for those.
Yeah, I think it's like 25 seconds or something crazy. Honestly, I didn't think there was that much.
And
Oh my
also,
God.
great job of staying so close to your PB. I wish I could say as much over the course of this tourney.
Yeah, well, I tried keeping up with the practicing now and again, so...
Yeah, keep up the good work for sure.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you planning on continuing to run Fusion Hundo? Or are you quitting after the tourney's over? Or now that the tourney's over?
I might take a bit of a break. I'll try for a 139 one day, but it's just too much of a time investment.
I totally understand.
I could do any percent like almost 30 minutes into the second run before I even finish one Hondo, so it's definitely just a lot of time.
For sure.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the few drawbacks to Hundo. It's a fun category, but the runs are pretty lengthy. But all right. Once again, GG's to both of you. Everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us on this wild ride over these many, many weeks. It's been an absolute blast for us, and we hope it was for you too. So until the next tournament, which will probably be Zero Mission, I think. Well, we hope to see you then. I've been Crunchy Lex, and thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.